Hey friends, I have had Dollar Tree soups on my video to-do list forever. It has been colder than usual where I live, so I decided it is Dollar Tree soup season in my house. And instead of doing all the soups in one video, which I would normally do, and which honestly can be a little overwhelming sometimes to edit the videos that are in that scope, I'm going to try something different, and I'm going to do 5 short videos, one each day this week, showcasing a new Dollar Tree soup video. I'm hoping that with the holidays right upon us, it'll be easier for me to get that style edited and out. If you're new here and you're wondering why Dollar Tree when there are other grocery stores that may have more affordable ingredients or higher quality ingredients, it's more about food accessibility and showing what can be done with the limited scope of ingredients that the Dollar Tree offers. For a lot of people out there, stores like the Dollar Tree or Dollar General may be the cheapest or the only place to get their groceries. My own hometown I grew up in has no grocery stores, but it does have a Dollar General. So unless you have transportation to go to the next town to go to the grocery store, you might be stuck buying all your groceries at the Dollar General. So I have a bunch of ingredients for some Dollar Tree soups that I am really excited to make. These soups are going to be made entirely from ingredients that I got at the dollar store, with the exception of like oil and some seasonings and maybe some like Worcestershire or soy sauce, all of which can be found at the Dollar Tree, and some of the seasonings I did buy at the Dollar Tree. That being said, let's jump right into our first soup. The first soup I'm going to be making for my Dollar Tree soup season week is a potato soup with some cheddar biscuits. This is maybe all the ingredients I'll be using, or most of. I bought everything for all the soups and I'm still kind of fully deciding what's going to go with what. I'm sure I'll also use some oil and seasonings not shown here. All things that can be found at the Dollar Tree though. This is probably the fastest soup that I plan to do, and I don't have to wait for anything to thaw because I do have a pound of frozen sausage that I'll be using for other soups that is, like I said, frozen. So I think I will start with the biscuits and then I will get the soup started. Unfortunately, they didn't have the Pillsbury cheddar biscuit mix that I really love to get from Dollar Tree, but they did have the home style biscuit mix, and I got some cheese, so we'll just make our own cheddar biscuits. Got my oven preheating to 400, and I'm just gonna grate a little bit of this cheese real quick with my box grater. This should be enough cheese for the biscuits. It doesn't really make that many biscuits, and I want to save some cheese for the potato soup, and this meal isn't the only thing I bought the cheese for. So to make these is really easy. All we've got to do is dump the mix into a bowl, add a half a cup of milk. Dollar Tree does sell like cold refrigerated milk, a quart for $3 now, but I like this stuff. It's the shelf stable until it's open milk, and it's $1.25 for a whole quart. I'll also toss my cheese in now, as well as I saw this ultimate garlic seasoning and I thought that sounded really good, so I grabbed a container of that. I feel like it's not gonna last me very long. So in addition to the biscuits being cheesy, we'll get them real garlicky as well. That's my oven preheating just now. This will just take a quick minute to mix. I'm gonna cook these on my cast iron. I've just got like a real light layer of oil there. So the package says that this makes 12 to 14 biscuits. I have never gotten 12 to 14 biscuits, and I feel like they must be like really little biscuits. Because there are 3 of us, I will be happy with 6. I think 6 is the perfect amount. It may take like a minute or 2 longer to cook, but no big deal. Always turns out fine when I do it that way. So I'll just divide my dough up here and spread them out around the pan. There's 6, and then I'll just kind of spread the little bit of batter I have left here. And the package instructions are for these to bake 8 to 12 minutes. I'll put them in for 10 and then start checking on them. I'm cooking these in my upper oven, which tends to cook things a little faster, a little hotter. I do have to confess to one little oopsie that I did. So I meant to buy one of these John Morrill smoked sausages that they sell. It's basically a fancy hot dog. They had it in stock. I looked at it, but I hadn't put it on my list. So in the moment, I just forgot to buy it. But I do want to include that as the protein in this potato soup. So what I'm gonna do is I have these in my fridge. They are pretty darn close to the same thing. They're basically a fancy hot dog. And by fancy, I just mean that they're called something fancy. It's still a low quality sausage. Still made of pork, not beef. And what I'm gonna do is because this is a 12-ounce package and the John Morrill ones are 7-ounce, I'm just going to use 3, maybe 4 of these links. That way it's closer to the equivalent of what the John Morrill one would have been. There we go. I have about 7 ounces now of this. And you see what I'm saying, that they're not a fancy sausage in any way. I normally don't like swapping out ingredients like that. But in this case, I figure it's not like we're swapping out cube steak for filet mignon or anything like that. But so I'll just chop this up into little bite-sized pieces real quick. So there's what that looks like cut up. I've got just a little bit of oil heating up into the bottom of this pot that is most definitely way bigger than what I'll actually need, but that'll be just fine. Taking my biscuits out at 11 minutes. Those look amazing. Now that my pot is heated up and my meat is sizzling, this won't take very long. These are already fully cooked, as is the regular John Morrill smoked sausages that they sell at the Dollar Tree. It just needs to be heated up. In this case, I just want to get a little bit of browning on the meat. If you didn't want to go with this kind of meat, you could go with ground sausage, you could go with the canned chicken. I'm just speaking of things that are specifically at the Dollar Tree. And then obviously you could omit meat entirely. If you wanted a little bit of extra protein and calories and fiber, some blended up white beans are a really great addition to a potato soup. And you won't notice the beans in there. It's not like it doesn't turn it into a beanie potato soup flavor wise. I'm also gonna toss in a nice little spoonful of my jarred minced garlic. I usually call it jarlic. I heard someone, I think on TikTok maybe, call it busy people garlic. I'll cook all that together for just a minute here. This has all been cooking together for a couple of minutes. I'm going to add a splash more oil and a little bit of flour. And just stir that all together for a minute or two to let that flour cook in the fat. I considered getting either margarine or even butter because Dollar Tree does carry butter now. It's 2 sticks for $3, or 8 ounces for $3. Not the greatest, but considering they didn't have it as an option at all before, like at least it is there as an option for the things that you really, really want butter for. I elected not to get margarine just because margarine is essentially just vegetable oil. I really didn't need it in stick form for anything that I was making, so in this instance I skipped the margarine and just went with the traditional vegetable oil, the liquid vegetable oil rather than the stick vegetable oil. This has all been cooking together for a couple minutes. It's all smelling nice and toasty, so I'll get some milk in here. Adding like a couple cups or so. Just kind of guesstimating it, but I'm gonna stir that all together real quick. And I'm gonna shred a little bit of cheese real quick to go in here as well. Here's my cheese. It's maybe 2 ounces of my block. I'm not trying to add like a ton of cheese, just trying to give it a little bit of that velvety creaminess and just a little bit of cheddar taste. A spoonful of that Velveeta cheese that they sell at the Dollar Tree would also be really good in here. That cheese is melting in. It's getting nice and thick and creamy. Oops. I'm adding in about a cup of water. And then I'll add in one of these bouillon cubes. Technically it's 1 bouillon cube to 2 cups of water per the directions. I'm just gonna add it into the soup as is right now, and then I'll add some more water to adjust the flavor as needed. And I just kind of crushed it with the side of my knife and broke it up a little bit, so it'll hopefully dissolve a little faster in here. Could also use a half a cube and just added the bouillon in as needed, but I think it will be all right. I got the unflavored mashed potatoes that Dollar Tree sells because it's the largest package. And there's actually not like a ton of sodium in here. It's pretty much just potato flakes and a couple minor ingredients to, you know, keep it from like sticking together in the package or anything like that. So it can probably use a little bit of sodium. I'm gonna let this come up to like a real light simmer so that way that bouillon dissolves, and then I'll start adding the potato flakes. I'm gonna start getting some potato flakes in here. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna add. This whole pack can absorb 4 cups of water, and I can add more broth and milk, but we'll just see how much we want to add. I guess technically I probably could have gotten the smaller flavored packages just for that extra flavor, but I think those only combine with like 2 cups of liquid, and I was worried it would be a little too small of a you know, pot of soup. Do another half cup of water at the very least here, and I'll turn this down. Let this heat up together for a minute, stirring. Let those potato flakes fully hydrate so I can start deciding if I want to add more or not. While I'm letting those flakes fully hydrate, I'm going to add just a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Soy sauce would also be a good option. Just gives it a little bit of savory umami-ness. A little bit of pepper, a little onion powder, and I will also throw some of this Cajun seasoning that I usually pick up from the Dollar Tree in there. Give this a taste and see where we are at. That's really, really good. I'm gonna get my carrots added. I really like carrots in a potato soup. Got them over here at the cutting board because we'll see if we need to cut them a little smaller, because who knows what size they're gonna be. I've gotten canned carrots and had them be like almost the size of the whole can. These are much more reasonable though. I'm okay just pouring these in as is. But I've definitely opened up a can before and had them be almost like a stack of carrots, almost the full size of the can. And canned carrots are typically already pretty soft. It's just kind of a byproduct of the canning process. You're basically cooking them a bit via canning. So they just need to heat up in there. You may have seen that I had evaporated milk in my pile of ingredients as well. I've just opened that up. I'm gonna use, I don't know, that's probably about a quarter of it. Basically, I'm gonna be using it in my creamy soups just to make it extra creamy. I also pulled this Parmesan out, but I think I'm gonna save that for other soups, which I think the Parmesan would make a bigger impact with. Give this a quick taste. It's a good consistency. This is really, really delicious. I think that this is enough for me and Andrew and my mom. We don't need any leftovers of it. However, if we did want leftovers, I would just add more bouillon and water, more milk, and then more of the potato flakes, because I do have some more of that. I probably put like 5 of the 8 servings in that bag in here. I'm thinking I maybe could have gotten away with only buying 1 of these bags, because I bought 2 of these bags to use between the 2 soups I'm going to be using potatoes for. But then again, potato flakes can also be used to thicken any of these like creamy soups. This could totally be eaten as is. It's delicious. The one thing I'm going to add that I know is a divisive ingredient is I'm going to add just a little dash of MSG just to really take it over the top. But if you do not enjoy MSG or adding it to your food, just skip it. No big deal. Get myself a couple scoops. I'll just grab 1 roll for now, but I'm sure I'll eat both of them. And there's dinner. My phone is at 3% here, so I have to be quick with my taste test. I do think smoked sausage is really, really great in a potato soup. Ooh, ham would be good too. Really, almost any meat goes good in a potato soup. Carrot is nice and soft, just like I said. And then I got my whole biscuit here dipped in the soup. Like I had said earlier, I wish they had had the cheddar biscuits that they frequently carry, but this is a good alternative. I'm gonna go eat my soup and put my phone on the charger. That potato soup was definitely a hit. We ate all of it except for 1 small bowl of it, which I'm sure we'll be fighting over who gets to eat it tomorrow. Luckily, there's also gonna be another delicious soup tomorrow though. I'm looking forward to sharing it with y'all. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again soon.